y'all, I am going to take y'all along with me as I go to a hiring fair. It's my first time recording in the car, so I don't even know if you can hear me or not because of the AC. It is very hot outside, and yeah, so I'm excited to go to this hiring fair. I haven't been to a in-person interview since like 2016 because I already had a job when COVID started, and then once COVID started and I changed jobs, everything was just virtual. So this is the first time that I'm going to an in-person event other than like a date night. Especially something that pertains to like work. So I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. That's why I got this scarf on my head. Otherwise y'all would never see me with a scarf on my head because I'm not one of them. Like, I get that the girls be outside with their bonnets and their scarves, but as soon as I park this car, the scarf is coming off. But yeah, so I'm not nervous, but I'm curious to see like how this hiring fair is gonna go because they keep sending out emails about how many people are gonna be there. Like, they're talking about how it's probably gonna be limited parking, and I'm just like, did everybody sign up? So yeah, so I'm just really interested to see like how it's going to be. I feel like I'm super prepared. One thing I do know about myself is I can sell myself in terms of like interviewing and all of that. Like, ask me a question, I gotta answer. Okay, so I'm just interested to see like I know on the website it mentioned like, you know, you can do on-the-spot interviews. Like, you may get an on-the-spot interview, you may get a tentative job offer. So I'm really praying that that happens to me, because I know that it's possible, and I know that I know that God got me. So I know that, you know, it's possible. And so my prayer is that I have a few interviews while I'm there, that I get a couple of tentative job offers from multiple agencies that's going to be here, and then also some of the other requirements like remote or heavy telework. I honestly don't mind going into the office like once a month or even once a week, to be honest, but especially because this is a whole new environment to me, so I don't mind that, like the heavily telework. I don't mind being a supervisor as long as it's not of like a massive team. I'm passing by what I think might be an accident. I don't know what's happening here actually. It's like, I don't know, it's a bunch of police cars, but a lot of people have accidents on this road, so I'm pretty sure they just out here whatever you call it, surveilling. I don't think that's the right word. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I do want remote or, you know, heavily telework. I don't mind supervising as long as it's not like a super massive team, because I've supervised before, so that doesn't bother me. And of course, like salary wise, I also want an awesome supervisor. I want a great team. I want great coworkers. Because I'm really one of those people that believe that like people truly do quit because of the people, not necessarily the job. Because I feel like people are teachable. Well, most people are teachable, but you know there's exceptions to that. People are teachable, and I feel like sometimes the person who might be the best fit for the job is the person who's never worked in that field before, because they got a different perspective. They are able to bring new ideas, and they're able to process information different. Because, you know, you ever been on a job or something and it's like you get this one employee and they're like super stuck in their ways, and they have a ton of institutional knowledge, but it's like you still doing the same thing that you did when you was here like in the 70s. Like, it's time to you know, upgrade that. Like, you don't have to keep doing the same thing. Like, we can improve the process and things like that. And I feel like when people enter into a new field, they're more likely to bring a new perspective. They're more likely to do, you know, those type of things. And so I'm really big on just having a good team and company culture, because I think that that's way more important sometimes. And I also always think people first. The work will get done. I think that if you have a great team, the people are going to be willing to figure out the work. So those are some of the things that are my requirements for a new job. And of course, you know, sometimes you're not going to know what type of team you're going to get. And that's why we pray, because I'm finna pray and ask God, like, you know, these are the things that I want. I mean, I've already prayed and asked him, obviously, because I would not be on here talking to y'all about something that I haven't talked to God about. But, and I will say this too, like, people think that, oh, you know, I prayed and I asked God to, you know, provide me with a good team, and I don't have a good team. Like, you know, I thought that this was a job. And sometimes it's like, God is like, yeah, girl, you asked me for a good team, but maybe I put you there so that you could cultivate that good team. Like, so sometimes we have to change our perspective. And I hope the Lord did not just drop that in my spirit because he think that, y'all, I don't have time. These are like real life, anyway. Sometimes that does happen. I'm well aware, but God, I hope that did not happen to me because I do not have time. But if it does happen to me, I will accept the assignment. Okay. But anyway, so I'm gonna take y'all on a date with me. I plan to go and do like a little solo dolo lunch date. Because that's one thing I do enjoy. It is cold in this car, child. It's hot outside and I got like Antarctica inside this car. Yeah, I'm gonna take y'all along with me on my little solo date. I really love going out by myself. And I'm sorry if when I look at the camera it actually looks like I'm looking that way, and it's because of the way that my phone is situated. So it looks like I'm not looking at y'all right now, but I am. And so I'm hoping that I can go get some crabs. I bought me a pair of jeans and everything because I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna take myself out on a date. That's one thing that I always like used to do, and I still do it sometimes too, but I used to do it a lot. Like, I used to take myself out a lot, and I really enjoyed it. And one thing that I do though is I still do like a small staycation by myself or with one of my friends once or twice a year, because I think that it's so important that regardless of if you're married or you've been in a long-term relationship, you need a life outside of your partner. Like, I'm sorry, I get that people want to be with their partner all day, every day. I love being around my husband. Like, that's my best friend. Like, it's like a sleepover every day. And when I say that, I'm not even trying to, like, listen, if y'all know, y'all know. Like, if y'all know us, then y'all know. Like, anybody who has been to our house know that all we do is like laugh and joke all day. Like, of course we can have serious conversations when the time needs to be had, but we're really good at just communicating and just being friends first. Like, I feel like so many people, when they get in relationships or when, you know, they get married, it's like this, I don't know, it's like people get so tense, and it's just like, that's your friend first. Y'all, my phone cut off because I didn't have any storage on my phone. I think stuff like that, when stuff like that happens, I think it's so funny because it's like, okay, I've never ran out of storage on this phone that I have, and today is the first day that I decided that I'm going to vlog. That happens. But anyway, so I cleared some of the storage from my phone. But oh, like I was saying before, I was really interrupted by my phone and my no storage message. I truly feel like it's a sleepover with my best friend every day. And like I was saying, it's people who know us, people who come to our house. Like, it's literally people that love coming to our house because it's just always a good time for real. Like, it's just always a good time. Like, we laugh, we joke, we hang out. Like, that's my friend. I think that when people get in relationships sometimes, like, they so uptight, and it's just like, let that be your friend first. You don't be doing all that back and forth with your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe some of y'all do, but you don't do all that back. Most people don't do all that back and forth with their friends. Like, they're so combative and just all of that. And it's like, let that be your friend. Like, that's your forever companion. Like, that's the person that you're choosing to spend the rest of your life with. Like, make it fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, I don't even know how I got on it. Oh, I remember. I was telling y'all about how I be doing my solo dates or like a staycation by myself or something. And the reason why I do that is because I still feel like, regardless of if you married your best friend, or if you're married, or if you've been in a long-term relationship, or whatever the case may be, you are your own person. I do believe that, just like the Bible says, you know, when y'all are married, you become one. But you're allowed to have your own individual personality, your own individual things that you like, the things that you like to do, the things that you don't like to do. You're still a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to spend every waking hour with your significant other. Like, you just don't. And you not spending every single hour, every single day with your significant other does not mean that you don't want to hang out with them, or you don't want to be with them. Like, me and Brandon are together a lot. Like, a lot. But we also go and hang out with other people. Like, we hang out with other people. We talk to our own friends. We have mutual friends. You know, we got separate friends. We got college friends. Like, we still talk to and hang out with the same people. Now, when I say hang out, I'm really talking about sporadically, because both of us, well, I'm more of a homebody than he is, but you know, sometimes people change. He's more of a homebody now than what he was before. But yeah, like, we still hang out with our friends. We still go out places with our friends. But one thing I will say is that I know a lot of people told me that when you get married, you know, you're gonna want to hang around like couple friends sometimes. Or so for us, we've hung around like couples, but like, this was like in college, like before we were married. And now there's two couples that we are very comfortable with hanging out with. One is my cousin and the other one is my friend. And me and her have been friends since, like, we met in high school, but we started becoming friends in college. We just so happened to go to the same college. And it's so funny because we didn't know each other, but our families literally grew up together. Like, when I say literally, I'm talking like her family and my family like went to the same high school. They grew up in the same area. They hung out together, like legit, like know each other. And so naturally we just became friends after she tried to bully me the first time she met me, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, she's like my best friend, and we love hanging out with her and her husband, my cousin and his wife. We'll hang out with them. We haven't hung out with them a lot, like by ourselves, but whenever we do, it's a good time. But I think that at first, I'm not gonna say I didn't get why people want to hang out with other married people, but now I think I do get it even more. Because it's certain conversations that you're just not gonna have with other people. And I'm not even talking about like serious, it doesn't even have to be like serious conversations, but stuff like, let's say I feel some type of way about something that happened. I'm still very selective of my words, whether or not the person is married or not, because I still feel like, you know, your marriage is your marriage and everybody don't need to know your business. But like, I'm more open in having a conversation with somebody who I trust and is married. Because if you just married, that don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean nothing to me as far as like me confiding you or me telling you anything. because I have to trust you, because I'm already one of them type of people that it's a very select few people that I actually trust to like give my business to, like tell my personal information to. But it's just certain conversations that you can relate to on a different level with your married friends. And it's because it's like, in a sense, y'all are kind of sort of going through the same things almost. Like, maybe not at the same time, maybe not on the same day, maybe not even the same year, but like, I'll give you an example. So like, my friend, the one I was just telling y'all about, that we like to hang out with her and her husband, they had a kid a year before me and Brandon. And some of the transitional things that they went through are the same transitional things that me and Brandon went through. Not identical, but you know what I'm saying, like you can relate to. And so knowing that she went through some of those things, and knowing that, you know, when I had a kid, I noticed that we were going through some of those same things, it's easier to relate to a person knowing that they've been where you are. And so I think that we would love to hang out with more married couples. There is a married couple, one of my husband's friends. It's still so funny saying husband, even though he been my husband. But it's so funny saying that sometimes still. But anyway, so he has a friend I would love to hang out with, you know, his friend and his wife. I think they're very cool. Like, they come to our house, they randomly like will come to our house sporadically, again, not a lot, but I think they're very cool. We've gone to their house, they come to our house. He was in our wedding. Like, they're really good people. I think it's just so crazy because sometimes like adulting is like so hard to catch up with people. Y'all ever seen those memes that be like, adulting is when you gotta schedule, you know, a meetup with your friend so many times and it just keep being canceled? That's what I be feeling like. That's what I be feeling like sometimes when it comes to hanging out with other couples, because it's just like, you're not just dealing with one person's schedule, you're dealing with multiple people's schedules. But yeah, so that was my little rant. But yeah, I'm gonna take y'all on my little solo date. I hope that this crab place is open, because I really want some crabs. And y'all will notice that I'm really on just like a journey of just like health and wellness. And so I do eat a lot of seafood. I ate seafood before, but now I intentionally eat a lot of seafood because it's high in protein. I really want some crabs like midday. I done got my jeans, my Crocs. I'm going in there comfortable, okay? I got on a bodysuit right now. I'm gonna just take these dress pants off, put my jeans on, and throw them Crocs on. Y'all, I might have to take this scarf off my head before I get there, because it is tearing my ear up. It's tearing my ear up. But anyway, so yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Y'all stay with me. And y'all gonna know that y'all see them storage units, those storage things in the back. That's another video for another day. But life update, we're moving. So that's why I have those back there, because I just want to consolidate some things. And sometimes I hate buying boxes, because it's just like, you're gonna use these boxes once, maybe twice, and then you're gonna trash them. So I like to use the plastic containers, because I feel like you can reuse them for so many different things. Like, or even if you give them away, people are always gonna make good use for them. So I went to Target yesterday and I got some of those containers. And y'all want to know something? I used to buy those containers from the Dollar Tree, and I used to get so mad because I could never find the matching tops to go with the bottom, and it was $15. I went to Target and I had no problem finding the tops that go to the bottom of the thing, and it was $16. I will pay that extra $1 for convenience, because I don't have time to keep looking up and down trying to find a top to a container. I don't. So that extra $1, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So if y'all need some bins, go to Target. Well, not unless y'all got a good Dollar Tree, but apparently the Dollar Trees that I live around ain't that good. Okay, y'all, this scarf got to come off, because this thing is hurting my head. But anyway. Ooh. I was supposed to retwist the front of my hair before going to this thing. Oh, you know why it's hurting my hair? I'm slow. Because of my piercing at the top. And as you can tell, I don't usually wrap my hair. I actually hate going to sleep with stuff on my head. It's crazy. I've always been that type of person. Like, I don't want to sleep with nothing on my head. I just want to be free. I just want to be free. when I go to sleep. I don't have time for this tie your hair up crap. Put no bonnet on. I'm pretty sure I should. I'm pretty sure it would make my locks look even better than what they look if I did, but whatever. But anyway, I'll see y'all on my solo day because I will absolutely not be vlogging inside of this hiring fair. But I will come back to let y'all know how the hiring fair went and how I feel about everything. So yeah. Okay, y'all, so as y'all can see, I'm back in the car. I done took off my blazer because it is 97 degrees outside and I will not be walking around with the blazer on. So the hiring fair was really nice. They had so many different vendors. It's so crazy like how things happen and how things work out, because I went to pretty much all of the vendors except for the ones for law enforcement, because absolutely not. There's just not. I'm just not about to be anybody's law enforcement. So anyway, it's crazy how things work out, because I went to all those booths aside from any of the law enforcement ones, and I was on the phone with my cousin and I was like, yeah, I'm about to leave, you know, I've talked to so many different people, you know, they've kept my resume, they wrote really good notes on my resume, because some of the hiring managers weren't there, so they weren't able to do on-spot interviews for most of them. So when I was on the phone with her, I was about to leave and I was like, oh, let me just stop by this last booth right here. And she was like, okay. So I stopped there, I talked to them, and immediately 2 people review my resume and they're like, give me 1 second, I'm about to send the hiring people your resume so that they can review it. And so I was like, okay. So I'm standing there and I'm just waiting, and then they're like, okay, so basically the process is your resume goes through 2 different people, and so my resume went through the first person, and I'm still waiting right now for. Okay, so my phone cut off because it said it overheated because it's too hot outside. So anyway, so I'm still waiting on the second person to review my resume, but they were so backed up, and the hiring fair ends at 6 p.m. They were like, there's no way that we're even going to interview. And so the crazy part about all of this is the person that I was talking to outside of this particular booth, I had no idea that they were the hiring manager for this position until I was getting ready to leave. And he was getting ready to leave, and he was like, yeah, if they call you for an interview, here's my phone number, just call me and I'll do the interview for you over the phone. Now, I knew he was a part of the process somehow because he was one of the first people that reviewed my resume, but like I said, they took my resume back to the people that actually, like, I guess, do the hiring or review your resume or whatever. I had no idea that he was actually the hiring manager. So I take his card, of course, and so when he leaves, I wait like another hour. I go up to the booth again and I'm like, hey, like, y'all have had my resume since noon. I'm just trying to check on it. I know it's gone through the first reviewer. I'm waiting on it to go through the second. Do you have any updates? And that's when the lady told me, like, we're so backed up, we're not going to be able to do any more interviews today, but they're going to call or text you if they want to set up an interview. Like, they'll call or text you either way. And so I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, such and such is the person that's going to be doing your interview. Y'all, why I look at the card and that's the person who gave me their card. And I was just like, you know what? The fact of the matter is, I know that I prayed that I get an interview and that I leave with a tentative job offer and all the sorts. And I also told y'all that I really believe that it's really good to work for a good team. And when I tell y'all that man who was the hiring manager, the person that I would be working for, I could just tell he was really good people. And the lady who was with him, her as well. And so, although I did not get a tentative job offer or interview yet, I'm still believing that God is going to provide that interview and that they're going to text me or call me today or tomorrow and just tell me, like, yeah, so we want to interview you, and so I can just call the guy and have him interview me like he said. And so I'm just thankful that I waited, because I could have left. So yeah, so now I'm on the way to my crab. Really it really pays to be kind to people, because if I was one of those people that was like such in a hurry to leave or whatever the case may be, I would have never been able to make that connection with the hiring manager or any of those other people that I was talking to, because I was in a rush. And so I think that this was one lesson for me, because I'm very much a person that's like, I don't like waiting around for people. I don't like waiting around for things. I can be very impulsive sometimes and impatient, and I know that God has really worked on me when it comes to those things, because let me tell y'all, probably like a year and a half ago, or even probably a year ago, but I'll say like a year and a half ago, there's no way that I would have waited that long to see what they were gonna do. And even if I would have waited, I would have been irritated that I waited. But it's like, you gotta look at it as like, everything really does happen for a reason. Everything has a purpose. And so there's several different things.
In 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 60 for Virginia 123 South, Virginia 123 North toward Fairfax, Vienna.
Y'all hear my GPS. So just so many different things that I've learned today within these last few hours. So I have literally been out of the house all day, and I'm gonna be out the house even longer, because I'm definitely getting these crabs. I owe it to myself. So I can't wait to put these jeans on and my Crocs and get real comfortable. So yeah, I'll show y'all my good old crabs once I get them. Okay, y'all, so I made it to Captain Pell's. It's in Fairfax, Virginia, and I'm so glad that I got this time to spend just by myself and just like sitting in silence, for real, like eating my crabs, doing the things that I love, which is just, you know, like, I love my family, I love my husband, I love my child, but sometimes you just want to spend time by yourself and just do things that you like to do, even if it's small things. And because I was already out of the house, today was just a perfect day to do that. So I really encourage any mom, wife, whatever, get out and do something by yourself and for yourself. It's such a good time. All right. So I just finished eating crabs, and let me tell you, it was so good. And I haven't been to that place in a while. I used to live like 15-20 minutes away from it. Now I live like an hour from it. So because I was down here, I just felt like it was the perfect time to go, and it did not disappoint. It was everything that I needed. Some crabs, some quiet time, you know. So it was good. And honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you, I really want something sweet. Every time I eat crabs, for whatever reason, it's like I feel like I'm supposed to have something sweet, and I think it's because of the salty from the seafood. Also, I did not tell them no seasoning on my crabs. And then when I got the third batch of crabs, because it was all you can eat, it had no seasoning. And I was like, thank you, God. Because I was tearing them daggone crabs up, and then I started chugging water, because I'm like, I do not need all that salt. But I am finally on my way home. I should be home around like 7:45. So, oh my gosh, I said I wanted something sweet, and why am I about to pass the Krispy Kreme? I'ma just keep looking straight, because when I pass this Krispy Kreme, if I look over to where it's at, turning the car. Turning the car to the Krispy Kreme. And I don't even need that. Yeah, so I'm on my way home, and I might record when I get home, but this is pretty much my day today. I spent most of my day at the hiring fair. I'm glad that y'all got to indulge in a lot of my random thoughts today, this morning. I feel like we talked about the job fair, we talked about relationships, we talked about a lot this morning. But yeah, y'all will notice I'm very random. Very random. A thought pops in my head and then it's just like, I'll talk about it. I am on my way home. May or may not record when I get home. Actually, tonight I want to blog a little bit. So blogging is like one of those things where I've always enjoyed blogging. I've blogged for other other websites like Women on Business, Feed Me Ideas, and some others. I'm also a contributing writer to a magazine, and I just have always enjoyed writing. And I feel like a lot of people, because people do vlogs and stuff like that, they don't necessarily read blogs anymore, unless it's like celebrity gossip, because you know everybody knows me and we be trying to figure out like what's the tea. But I haven't really seen any bloggers in a long time, but because it's something that I enjoy, it's something that I'm going to do and share. So most of my videos, you'll see a my blog link to it, just so that, I don't know, I feel like everybody likes to receive content differently, and because I just enjoy writing, people always tell me my writing is relatable, because when I write blogs, I just write it in my tone. Now if I'm writing an article like for the magazine that I write for, obviously it's going to be a different tone, but when I write in my personal blog, I talk how I'm speaking right now. I try to be as relatable as possible, because I feel like a lot of times people get on this internet and it's like, that's not you for real. Like, that's not who you are. I understand like trying to present professionally or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, it's like, be relatable, be yourself. So that's really like what my blog is. Like, it's a bunch of my random thoughts, blogs on topics that I like to talk about, or something that people have asked me about, and all of them are obviously from my perspective, but they're also just in my tone of voice, like just like this. You'll see the word girl in there a lot, sometimes even stretched out with a whole bunch of R's and a whole bunch of L's, because that's how I talk. And yeah, so I feel like when people read my blogs, I want them to feel like they know me, in a sense, like they talking to the homie. Like, I want them to feel like, oh, like I could chill with her, like I could read, you know, what she's saying, I could watch her videos. Like, that's the kind of feeling or vibe I want somebody to get from my vlogs and my blog, because I just feel like I said, I just feel like these realistic days in a life, child, they don't be realistic. Well, maybe they are, and I don't know, but yeah, so this is going to be as realistic as it gets. I mean, I feel like sometimes I will have like little short curated videos, because that's what does numbers, but I will definitely let y'all know, like, listen, this right here, this is actually a realistic day in the life. Like, this is what it looks like. Every day is not easy. Some days are rough. Some days you gotta pull late night, early mornings. Like, every day just doesn't feel like a good day. Now, most of my days really are good, but I honestly think that's just because of perspective. Like, all of your days could be considered bad days if you have if that's your perspective. Like, if you're a glass half empty type of person, you may feel like all of your days are bad, and man, you might experience the same exact thing on the same exact day. But I look at it as like, oh, it's a good day today. So I think me saying most of my days are good probably is just based on perspective, because some of the things I've been through, like especially like when it comes to just business and entrepreneurship, look, I was about to say, girl, they've been crazy, and even through all of that, I'm still like, I just love it. I love every bit of it. Like, all of the chaos, all of the crazy, like, I love it. So, oh, let me also tell y'all, so me staying at the hiring fair until it almost was over. So it was over at 6. I left out of there at 5. Yes, I was there all day long, but I left at 5. And when I left, it said it was gonna take me 2 hours to get home. I said, oh no. Usually this is an hour drive, and so for it to take me 2 hours, I sit here, right? So I knew for sure I was definitely going to go get me some crabs, or go to some type of restaurant or whatever. Even though I had planned to do that earlier, but I thought it was going to be more so like a lunchtime thing, because I was not thinking that I was going to spend all day there. But that was only taking me an hour to get home because it was an accident or something. So that's another reason why I'm glad that I stayed at the Hiram Fair later and I went to go eat, because it just bought me some time. And now I'm sitting and left. Actually, it's no traffic. It's going to take me an hour and I will be home. And so I'm very excited about that, because I hate just sitting in traffic. Like, I'd rather go the long way than to go a shorter way, and it's going to take me less time just to avoid traffic, because I just don't I don't enjoy just sitting. I don't. And I think that's a part of what I was just telling y'all about how impulsive I can be sometimes. It drives me insane, because why are we sitting here? Why are we sitting here? And y'all, I thought that Krispy Kreme was gonna be coming up on my left, and it's not. So I am not where I thought I was at. Which sounds so bad, because I actually do not have a bad sense of direction. But clearly, I don't really know what happened there, because this is not where I thought I was. And I thought that Krispy Kreme was going to be on my left, and it definitely was not. So I guess it's a good thing, because I wasn't tempted to bust a U-turn and go get me some. Because I'm definitely somebody that can like eat snacks all day long. Like all day long. It's actually ridiculous, but because I'm on my whole health and wellness journey and just like making a lifestyle out of that, I really try to do stuff like that in moderation. Like, when I tell you, I used to crush a bag of peanut M&Ms every single night. Like, I'm not even joking. At one point, like, me and one of my friends was talking about like, this was like when she had already kind of like, she already had started working out and stuff, but this was when I was getting ready to start just, you know, being on my journey and whatnot. And she was like, Brittany, you don't have to eat the whole bag. And I was like, but I do though. Like, I have to eat the whole bag. Like, that's just what I do at nighttime. She was like, well, you can start by eating half the bag. So I'm like, all right, I could probably do that. She right. So then I went to half the bag. And then when I really got like serious, like when I first started going to the gym and stuff, I didn't eat M&Ms for 3 weeks, y'all. And that was a big accomplishment for me, let me tell you. Also, that brings me to something else. You really have to, like, I'm so grateful for like good friends that really challenge me, because even though that sounds like something so small, like, oh, like you don't need to eat the whole bag of M&Ms, like you can just eat half the bag, it might seem so small, but it's something so major. It's really way too hot outside because my phone just overheated again. But anyway, like I was saying, it might seem like something so small, but it's really something so big. Like, that same friend, we share activity on Apple Watch, and I was always meeting my goals every day on my watch, like, you know, the stand goal, the exercise, the move goal, or whatever. And she was like, you always meet your goals, like you need to change your stats on your watch to make it more challenging. And I was just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, like she's right. Like, if I keep meeting my goals, then that means it's time to like take it up a notch. And so I'm so glad that I did, because every day, you know, it's more of a challenge for me to meet those goals, like meet my calories and all of that. And so it's really good to have people like that in your life that really challenge you. Like, if you don't have people in your life that challenge you, you need to get some new people, for real. Because I know some people who have like pretty much all surface level friends. Like, all that they do is like kiki together, and it's like, dang, that must suck. Like, that must really suck to just have friends that all you do is laugh together, and y'all don't have like serious conversations about goals and growth and just like, you know, stuff like that. But that's for me and my friends. We be talking about all kind of stuff, like all kind of stuff, and I'm so appreciative of that, because I know that some people don't. They don't, like I said, they only have surface level friends. But God, get you some friends that can help motivate you and encourage you to just do the small things. Like, sometimes that's really all it takes, is a bunch of small changes versus something super drastic. I'm supposed to say tragic, but that's it. I mean, same, it fits. But yeah, all right, y'all, so I'm about to see y'all when I get home. Ooh, ice cream truck. That'd be nice right now.